What is up? Back at it with another GR8 podcast, and we're actually starting something new today. Can you believe it? We are actually starting something new. Came up with my own head here with no creative associate needed. Nate's Take. Now, what this is going to be, probably once every 2 weeks, something along those lines. A sports podcast, specifically shorter, and specifically things that I want to talk about. And for the first one, I just try to reach and be like, these are the things that I can talk about. However, I think I'm stretching it a little because there's not a whole lot of things I'm interested in. I'm mostly interested in NBA and basketball, but I have a couple like UFC things, and I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less about UFC, but I might as well try myself to stretch and reach and cover everything that I can, and maybe give my opinion on things that I do care about and things I don't care about. So we might as well do this today. So hopefully this is just, really quick, really short, really fun. Hopefully you're on your way to work, maybe on your way to go to the grocery store, maybe on your way to go pick up some meth. Don't matter to me. Let's get into it. So we're going to start with the NBA standings. Can you actually believe it that the NBA is actually really interesting this year? There are 8 games, and granted, we only have 2 weeks left of the NBA season, maybe 3, maybe like a handful of games, but there are 8 games that separate the number 2 seed and the number 13th seed in the West. Now, that might not seem like a really big deal, okay? That 8 games, sure, whatever. But that shows you how these teams are performing at not the highest level possible, not even at the lowest level possible, but just right in the middle to make it everybody really close. The Nuggets are going to win the West. Easy. They're up by around 8 games, okay? They got a winning percentage pretty high. Let's just leave it at that, okay? But I really want to focus on in the middle of the pack, okay? So the Lakers, who are now in the 11th place, 31-34 is their record. They are 3 games away from the 5th seed Warriors, who are 34-31, or reverse record. That's insane. The Los Angeles Lakers, who are in 11th place, which honestly, they shouldn't even be in 11th place, but they are 3. I'm putting up 3 fingers, 3 games away from the 5th seed, who are the Warriors. That's insane. That's crazy. That's how close this all is. The 13th seed, who are the Thunder, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are 4 games away from the 5th seed. That's insane. The Thunder are only 6 games away from the 4th seeded Phoenix Suns. This Western Conference almost literally could not be any closer. It's super, super interesting because at the very end of this season, last 2 weeks, which we're in right now, every single game matters. And every single possession matters. Every single score matters. Every single rebound, assist, point, block, steal. That matters to get into the playoffs, maybe the play-in, and maybe go on to win the championship. I'm focusing on the Western Conference because I've never seen the Western Conference this close, this tight. One bad turnover could literally mean that you drop seeds, not just 1 seed, maybe not even 2, multiple seeds behind. It's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Most teams in the West are on like a one game losing streak, 2 game winning streak. It's literally the closest it's been, and I've seen in years. The Eastern Conference is a little bit more spread out. You got the top three seeds, Bucks, Celtics, and 76ers, and then you drop down to the Cavs, the Knicks, the Nets, the Heat. And the East is a little bit more spread out. Who would have thought that the Western Conference was going to be almost as wide open as possible, right? If the NBA season ended right now, the Nuggets would play the winner of, I think, the Jazz or the Trailblazers or the Lakers and the Pelicans. Are you kidding me? Any of a 7-game series The Nuggets versus whoever, any of the 4 teams that I mentioned. The Grizzlies, the Kings. We might actually see a Suns and Mavericks first round 7-game series with Luka and Devin Booker going at it. Luka is making a case for the MVP, but Luka making a case for his own MVP, a title. Devin Booker, the newly revamped Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant. That's insane. That's just crazy. So interesting. So interesting. Came on with the basketball topic. Liberty University, my pride and joy, loses in heartbreaking fashion in the ASUN tournament, ASUN championship against Kennesaw State. It was a close game. Darius McGee played pretty bad. His last ever collegiate game. Is he going to get drafted? Is he? I hope he's listening. I honestly do, because it makes me so mad that, yeah, you can ball up against guys that just finished their math homework 20 minutes earlier before the game. But you can't drop 20 against the team that you're supposed to win against in the championship, right? Darius McGee, what's going on? You had to have everybody else pick up your slack. He couldn't shoot worth anything from 3 the whole game. He hit his first 3-pointer 5 minutes into the second half. The rest of the team had to pick up. And I, as a Liberty student, as a Liberty alumni, that makes me so angry. This guy is going for the NBA. He came back, said, I'm coming back, and we're going to go somewhere. It was a big deal. Everybody thought this is his last year, and then he came back for his senior year. This actually, he can't come back. And what is he going to declare for the draft? What are the NBA scouts going to see? What are they going to think? Okay. Well, his probably most important game of his career just happened a couple months ago. Let's see. 8 points to the first half, I think. 8 points to the first half? Seriously? That's how you go out? That's what's going on here? I don't know. You're allowing freshmen to show you up. And it makes me mad. Maybe even Kennesaw State, I wasn't there on the court. I kind of watched the game. Watched most of the second half. Was their defense that good? Was Kennesaw State's defense that good? What are you going to do against NBA defenses? It just makes me mad that Darius McGee was our guy. He won ASUN Player of the Year multiple times. He broke the one of the NCAA records, or multiple of them, for points and three-pointers. And this is as far as you get us? In your last year, ASUN? The championship, and lose? Now, people for that watch that game. The very ending of that game was very heartbreaking. That's what, it was heartbreaking. Isaiah Warfield fouled the shooter. I can't remember his name. I don't know. He's going up for a shot or a layup or whatever. Very pretty close to the hoop, probably 10 to 12 feet in. And he gets fouled, shoots a couple free throws with 0.7 seconds left. 0.7. Obviously, you can't do anything with that. It's heartbreaking. Makes me mad. Man, Liberty, that was it. This is your year. A lot of seniors are leaving. Richie McKay just signed on until 2030. Does he know who's leaving? Does he know what kind of team he's going to have? Granted, I love Liberty. I love Liberty basketball. I will always be critical of them, though. We're in the ASUN division, and we can't beat Kennesaw State. I don't know. It just makes me so upset that you're giving so much money, effort, and resources into these top prospects and signing your coach on for so long and having your star player come back multiple time ASUN player of the year. And this is how it happens. This is how it goes. Next thing with NBA, or I guess just basketball as a whole, Ja Morant. What is going on with Ja Morant? The Memphis Grizzlies star point guard / shooting guard / one of the best in-game dunkers of all time. Super explosive, super entertaining to watch. He makes he makes the Memphis Grizzlies entertaining to watch. You go down the roster and you see dudes like Dylan Brooks. And he actually makes that team actually interesting to watch. Ja Morant's going crazy. Not really. I just think a lot of things are going on, and I think that's funny. I think that's interesting. You know, if I was getting paid $30 million a year, I would not show a gun on Instagram Live. I would not show a gun and shirtless in a club or a strip club or whatever. I wouldn't do that. That's not necessarily me. I've never seen somebody that wants to make it out of the NBA so badly. I think that's what a lot of people are saying. I've never seen somebody want to leave the NBA as much as Ja Morant does. There's a lot of reports and a lot of things in the past that, you know, he wanted to beat up a mall cop. He wanted to beat up a 14-year-old kid. I don't know. Some of these things are just crazy. A lot of reports and things going on. I don't really think that somebody should be, you know, judged on their past, especially in circumstances like this, where it's like, dude, you have such a bright future. Stop acting like something you're not. You know, I don't know. That's just something that I would think about. I want to talk about. I don't know. It's a very interesting conversation because it's like, whoa. In this age of social media, in this age of digital media, in this age of you have a recorder in your back pocket, your phone, with your camera, and you record somebody doing something that could ruin their life. And this kind of stuff happens every single day, right? And you can write a police report, do all kinds of things against Ja Morant. And then amidst all this controversy about his dad and Shannon Sharpe yelling at each other at a game, amidst all this controversy with these reports coming up, amidst all this controversy of like he has a gun and whatever, he goes on Instagram Live and just shows that he has a gun. And granted, I don't really know what the rules are in Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know. I really don't know, but definitely not a good look. Definitely not something that he should be doing. However, I do want to bring up this idea where Ja Morant is doing these things and people are supporting him. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So many people are vouching for him. So many people are saying, you have a bright career ahead of you. You could make $1 billion. Right? You can make $1 billion. Ja Morant is the first guy in Memphis that might be actually looking at $1 billion, a possibility of making $1 billion through his contracts, his contract signings, his bonuses, his shoe deal, commercials, advertising, marketing. Very well, within the next couple of years, probably soon, he could sign a huge contract, stay on the Memphis Grizzlies, max contract. And with the NBA making more money and giving more power to players, especially monetarily, it's very possible that, you know, star players make $65, $70 a year, 65 or $70 a year. Yeah. 65 to $70 million a year. That's almost $1 million per game, almost. And Ja Morant's the one guy looking at it say, I don't want that. I want this hard life. I want this gangster life. I want this hood life. I want this. And I was listening to Nick Wright talk about this, and I don't want to steal his thunder or whatever, but he made a good point that he's not hanging out with the right people. He's not around the right people. He's not doing the right thing because he's not around positive or good influences. And I started thinking, interesting. That's a good point. You are the sum of the three people that you hang out with the most. You are the sum of your three best friends. And then Nick Wright came and saying that maybe he is the bad influence, right? He's the star. He's the famous one. He's the millionaire with his friends. I'm sure he's supporting things. I'm sure he's giving things to his friends, or as NBA players do, give things to his family and whatnot. And what if part of his group, part of his gang say, "Hey, bro, let's go eat at McDonald's," and John Morant's like, "No, we got to go beat up this 14-year-old kid." Everybody looks around, and is like, "We don't really want to do that, but he's paying our." He just gave me new shoes. He just gave me a new watch. Okay, what's his name? Where are we going? I don't want to go too far into all this. I don't care. I don't care what NBA players do with their lives. These are millionaires. They all spend it so unprofessionally. I mean, wouldn't you? You get to do something for the rest for the next 10 years, and you're really good at it, and you get paid millions of dollars for it. The first check hits, and holy cow, I haven't seen this much money before in my life. What am I going to do with it? I think NBA players, I think there's something in your contract where you have to attend 2 money-saving classes a month or a year or every season or something along those lines. At least NBA rookies, you have to go to a class where it shows you how to spend your money wisely, what you should put it towards, depending on contracts, depending on how much you get paid, depending on your rookie deals and things of that nature. But it all comes down to how you should spend your money. I think that's a real thing, that NBA rookies actually have to attend these classes, and the NBA puts it up and say, "All right, this is how you do it." Did John Morant not listen to that? Did anybody listen to that? Does Devin Booker listen to that? All of his expensive cars? You don't need all of those cars. I'm just trying to put this in perspective where, John Morant, what are you doing? What's happening? Why are you doing these things? Are you the bad influence, or are you just being influenced? By who? These people do not care about you. These people do not care about you. If you probably look around, these people are new in your life, comparatively speaking. What's going on? It almost makes me just angry. It makes me mad. What are you doing? I'm just saying, if you paid me $30 million a year, I would not be flaunting a gun on Instagram Live. Whatever. Sounds good. I love John Morant. I really do. He's an explosive, athletic, entertaining player. He makes the NBA really fun to watch again. Not a whole lot of players that you can say that about. Incredible dunking. Incredible athleticism. Insane layups that you've probably never seen before in your life. He's not a great three-point shooter, but that's what Steph Curry's for. He's great. He's a great player. I know there's a lot of things that the media doesn't cover, and I'm going so long on just talking about John Morant, but I'm just so interested. I want to pick his brain. I want to sit down and interview him. And what I was going to say is, I understand that there's more to him than just weird occurrences in his life. I get that 100%, 100%. I get that. Saving kids and giving to charity and giving people his shoes that he signed. It's fantastic. That's great. I hope he does more of that. And the media does not cover that whatsoever. It's almost like they wait for NBA players for this. They wait for them to do this stuff. What do you remember Michael Jordan as? One of the greatest of all time? You know what happened in the middle of his career? Gambling. They found the one thing that made Michael Jordan human. There it is. There it is. Gambling. Can't be doing that, MJ. And that's like half of his legacy. Is this what's going to be half of Ja Morant's legacy? Is weird gang-related things? You were going to beat up a retail worker for bothering your mom? You're maybe going to kill him? I mean, I don't know if he was bothering her. Read the story. It's just interesting. Listen to Nick Wright's podcast about it. And this is supposed to be short. I'm going on 22 minutes. This is supposed to be short. I have a whole lot more to talk about, and I guess I'll just do that later. I said I was going to talk about MVP, the NBA MVP, but that's not happening. I want to keep this short. I want to keep this sweet. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Me just talking. Again, this is Nate's Take, specifically sports. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to do it every other week, something along those lines, maybe twice every 2 weeks, something like that. I'm not really too sure. I want to be consistent with podcasting. I want to be consistent with content creation. I want to be consistent with making videos and things of that nature. I think this is going to be a cool thing that all came from my head. That, hey, I just hop on, pretty unfiltered. I have a list of things I want to talk about, and that's it. I don't have a script. I don't have anything. I don't have any points. Just want to get into it. I just want to talk. I just want to, honestly, just want to hear what you guys have to say. I have a Q&A on Spotify down below. Just swipe down. Just interested. It's interesting. All of this stuff is interesting. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can't watch, but thank you guys for listening. I enjoy you. Thank you so much. Keep listening. You guys are making me money. Go subscribe to the Patreon. Go subscribe to my first and second channel. I think that's all I have, honestly. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.